Next, I want to switch over to ultrasound, Dr. Lawrence Haines, who's our current director of our ultrasound division, previously ran the ultrasound fellowship. He oversees so many different ultrasound-based initiatives at MIMO during the COVID crisis that's still ongoing. But during the height of it, started this ultrasound protocol that was extremely helpful for as we were all trying to figure out what exactly to do. I'll let him talk about it more. Dr. Haines, take it away.
Hey, thanks, Tim. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you.
Great. Thanks, Tim and Sabina, for organizing this event. It's great to see, and I'm honored to be among the panelists tonight. We have some luminaries in our field, and I'm really honored to be here. So I'm going to try to share my screen. See if this works. Can you guys see that?
Perfect.
Okay. So a bit about me. I was actually, I'm from California, and I did my undergrad in medical school in California and matched at Maimonides. And I remember being really impressed with this new program back in 2005 when I matched as a resident. And I haven't left since, because this division, this department, the leaders in our ED keep me hanging around, because there's so much opportunity here. The bureaucracy is a lot less than other big institutions, and we can be nimble. And I think that's an important thing when you're an EM doctor, is being nimble. So I'm going to talk about our ultrasound division and try to sell you on this little niche that actually my mentor, Eitan Dickman, started carving out in 2007. And I've taken the reins from him and tried to keep us going in the right direction. So the division, we're actually a pretty large division. There's 12 of us that are ultrasound fellowship trained. And that means there's a wealth of experience and knowledge in all these 12 faculty when it comes to emergency ultrasound. There's not only faculty that are trained at MIMO, but also faculty trained elsewhere, all over the country, that have come to help educate the residents and the fellows. We do have a fellowship. It's a 1-year fellowship, and there's typically three fellowship spots per year. I just wanted to mention that all of our EM attendings are credentialed in emergency ultrasound. So all the EM attendings can do these scans, can teach the residents these scans, and can bill for these scans. We also offer a medical student rotation, which is not that common, actually. There's not a lot of med student rotations for emergency ultrasound out there. Because our leadership is so supportive of ultrasound, our chairman, John Marshall, was the ultrasound director before Eitan Dickman took over. Even though John Marshall is not fellowship trained in ultrasound, he came in with a lot of ultrasound knowledge and became the ultrasound guy. And then they hired Eitan Dickman, who's now our vice chair and medical director. So both the leaders in our department are very ultrasound savvy and are big supporters of ultrasound. So we have a lot of tech. We have 6 machines in the department. We have a wireless workflow that goes into QPath and PACS. We do about 10,000 scans per year, and all of those scans are reviewed by the division. And we also bill for our ultrasounds. We're always getting into new tech, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a little bit. So research, yes, we do research. There's a lot of research going on. We work really tightly with our research division. Dr. Motov has been such a champion of ultrasound to try to mitigate the use of opiates. We're doing a lot of nerve blocks in the ED. So yeah, we're trying to do a lot of research in the division. Some of the strengths of our division are actually our nerve block program. So we do a ton of nerve blocks. We actually have a nerve block team Monday through Friday during the daytime hours, and you can contact this team and they'll come down and do a nerve block for you. We also put on this conference at our institution called Block Camp. Last year was the first year. It was very successful, and we're going to continue this this into the future, where we teach nerve blocks to anybody who wants to come, but it's been predominantly emergency physicians. We're doing TEE in our ED. So with cardiac arrest patients, we're putting that probe down, and it's become almost like a second monitor. So we can look at the heart in real time. We can adjust the placement of our compressions to try to maximize the forward flow of blood as we do chest compressions. We can look for the H's and T's with much more clarity. with much shorter pulse, with much shorter compression delay for the pulse checks. Another strength is we have a couple of PEM providers that are ultrasound trained. So we're looking for appies and intussusceptions. We're looking occasionally for pyloric stenosis. And along that same vein, we're doing a lot of bowel ultrasound. So we have an ongoing study for SBOs, and I routinely look for SBO with ultrasound. On the horizon for us, we're on the precipice of getting portable handheld devices in everybody's hands in the ED, and that's going to really make doing ultrasounds a lot easier, because the biggest impediment in my mind of doing ultrasound on patients is dragging that machine over to the bedside. So this will eventually replace the stethoscope. Everybody's going to have one of these in their hands in the near future. We take ultrasound education very seriously at MIMO. I mean, Cord and ACEP and SAEM have all supported the use of ultrasound in emergency practice, and the ACGME and ABEM have made it one of the milestones. So it's one of the things that we really try to focus on during your education. And we do all of the 12 core applications according to ACEP. We also teach a lot of these more advanced things. We teach advanced echo, TEE. We look at the adnexa. We look at testicles. We do vascular studies. We look for peritonsillar abscesses, and we look for pneumonia and COVID in patients. So we're trying to be on the cutting edge of emergency ultrasound. And during your education, you do a lot of ultrasounds. You do 8 dedicated weeks as a resident, 50 hours of didactics during weekly QA in those 8 weeks, about 120 hours of hands-on scanning directly with a fellowship trained faculty member. You have 2 examinations during your residency. You have to do 12 proctored standard direct observation tool exams. And by the end of your residency, you'll do between 5 to 1,000 scans. Most people graduate with about 600 to 700, but last year we had a couple people in the 900 range. So it's really amazing how many exams you do. It's the most common exam done in the ER. And by the end of your residency, you'll be an ultrasound superstar. Thanks.
Thanks, Dr. Haines. I think one of our former, well, he was a new attending, came from a different program, said, if I can be as good as a MIMO intern at ultrasound, I'll consider myself successful. We get a lot of ultrasound in this program, thanks to Dr. Haines and all of the other leadership.
100% echo. I think wherever you guys end up, try to choose a place that's really ultrasound friendly, because just as Dr. Haines mentioned, it is the future of our practice. And so we're really lucky that we have such a strong program here, and it's truly integrated into every day at Shift.